this the strangest thing to walk around here alone. It feels as if I am somewhere I shouldn't be. As if I tread on a civilization that is very long gone. And it wouldn't want me here, making pictures for Facebook thousands of years later. These people probably suffered through things we don't know, we will never know, and we cannot imagine. And they had an intelligence long before us, which still hides many secrets today. And just to be able to walk here, to actually touch the bricks, is the most mind-blowing thing I've ever seen, probably. This, just walking in the middle of this, is just, you cannot describe it with words. Words fail to describe what you see here in Egypt. Can you imagine the hard labor that went into constructing these walls, the wells, the houses? One brick after another, there are millions. The labor that went into making these bricks in the first place. These mud clay bricks, probably coming from the Nile River, and either baked in some form of oven or just in the basking sun. I have no idea, because I know very little about Egypt, but I can imagine, certainly, I have a good fantasy, the people who walked around here and piled these immense blocks on top of each other, and the immense engineering that went into that, carving them with these round curves, and then making this on the side. This seems like an enormous battle took place. There's a guy with an arrow and bow. There's people stumbling all over each other with spears and falling. Some fall to the ground. Some have very strong leg muscle, it seems. Perhaps they had to move in battles like this with many hundreds or thousands of soldiers. There is a huge horse over there, and with a cart behind it, other men with spears. I see no women or children, but I see these hieroglyphs that are so well preserved. Just look at this. It seems to be a spoon or whatever. What is this even? There is a duck, a bird. And then so far up, there are still all of these carvings, these reliefs, these hieroglyphs of birds, all types of birds. They must have had some significant meaning. And people running. There must have been thousands killed in whatever battles that took place here. You don't know, and you can't know, because this is so far off from us, how they piled these columns on top of each other. We have no idea. We have some idea, but we have no idea what it was like to actually be there and to do the work. We can only imagine. We can make a lot of theories and assumptions, but a lot of secrets will be hidden forever. In the stones of these buildings, in the stories, and we will never be able to retell them. Even though the people left the inscriptions on their houses and their temples, we can only figure out so much, and nobody is left to tell us the rest of the battles that took place, of all the men, the women, the children who were left to abandon their cities, or just actually suffer through, who knows, famines, fires, wars, destruction. We don't know. We can see the horse with the cart, the people falling over each other. Let me tell you one thing, battles are never friendly. Especially in ancient times, everything was just incredibly cruel, incredibly rough. We have now a soft generation. People walking around these places, taking selfies, laughing, posing as a sphinx, whatever, as a pharaoh. But will they have the imagination to actually lay awake at night and to imagine what has taken place here? It is a long movie in my head that I will probably have many sleepless nights over from now on. Because once I'm impressed by something like this, I cannot let go of it. And right now, I am deeply, deeply impressed. Because this is, like I said, hands down, most incredible place I've seen in my whole life. And I'm even a bit emotional about it. I cannot describe it's a little bit of entitlement and also shame that I feel of being able to walk here while these people are all long gone. And someday the visitors who walked here will not have even, all they would have achieved here is move a bit of gravel, let's say. We haven't contributed to that. We walk here with our Nike shoes, only to admire the intense labor that has taken place. And that is all we've contributed. We can spread the story, but would anyone be able to make something like this? No, probably never. Probably never again. And we shouldn't want to, because it was done with intense labor, which nobody would like. I certainly wouldn't. But it shows you that humanity is capable of so much when it puts its hands down, or when it is pushed beyond its limits. This is what the result is. This type of structures. Tunnel leading into the ground to who knows where. I'm not going in because I'm being watched by a soldier. And you can imagine the secrets that lay below the ground here. I know that this here has been excavated only so far, but if you see how high the walls are, you can only imagine that this is not the latest layer of history. There is a lot more to this than we are seeing here. You can go 10, 20 or 30 meters below the surface and you will find more. But you would also need to either remove or replace. Assalamu alaikum. Or replace the structures here. Because if one thing is built on top of another, you cannot just dig deeper, because the whole thing on top would collapse. That's how civilizations grow. That's how Rome was built as well. One thing on top of the other. Even Sofia, Sardica, was built like that. So you can start digging, but then what? Eventually you'll need to do something with the top layer. You cannot just destroy that either. There's a lot of ethics and etiquette that comes with excavations and archaeologists. But we can see that us modern day humans have only scratched the surface of what has taken place here. We haven't seen anything yet. Looks like kids taking a beating there, or taking a whip. I don't know what happens there, or perhaps slaves. It could mean a lot of things. See? With a stick something, or a spear. Here we see more battles, horses, spears, bows and arrows, people walking, tribes, probably, see, fish, probably referring to the sea people, big fish, birds eating the fish probably, who knows. Look at how the bricks are on top of each other. And here, nearly alone as well. Look at this. Mind-blowing. So these are Egyptian columns, but it's the closest in terms of style to the Greco-Roman one, because in the top you see these sort of flowery patterns and the extra sculptures. Whereas typically in the Egyptian era they would only be round columns, not necessarily with the things there on the top, but you see there's significant overlap here.